Hey everyone, late night Facebook Live on this Tuesday. I hope you're having a great Tuesday. There's only a few minutes left before we turn the clock to a new day. The Golden Globe Awards went a little long, as the speeches sometimes do, and so our newscast was a little late. Then I had to wait for the cleaning crew to finish up vacuuming here so you could be able to hear me. But I wanted to provide a quick update on the storm chances. We're about to get the new risk here coming out here at probably around midnight. And I think we're going to see some changes to the risk, to be honest with you. I think there's going to be some storms. And I think those storms are going to clip our area as we move into our Thursday early morning. So late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. Didn't expect many people to be on here, but maybe you can watch the replay. Let's dive into the details here, not to waste your time. And there's the severe weather risk for tomorrow. It's basically tomorrow night. Now, here's the deal. This is, I think, a little bit too far west, or should I say too far east. I think this is going to shift back to the west. I was a little confused looking at the risks. You know, the day 3 had it over the area, the day 4 had it over our area, and then the day 2 this morning at around 1 o'clock in the morning had it over our area, and then this afternoon it just dramatically shifted east. I know why, because the models lowered the precipitation and lowered the storm chances. But guess what? The system's stronger than expected, and the storm chances, I think, are going to be coming back. So this is what I think we see tomorrow, is that this risk shifts back to the west and will encompass some of our area. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I'm not saying this was a bad forecast at the time. I'm just a little bit hesitant to say that we won't see any thunderstorm activity. So I think that risk does shift back to the west. Jacob, congratulations on making my Twitter circle. Like I say, you are involved, you are inquisitive, you ask questions, and it's awesome. So you can learn more. I ask questions too. I've got to learn more. Everybody's got to learn, right? Let's look at the future track here, and we'll show you tomorrow morning, very mild. So in a few hours, we're not going to drop off much. Now, we are expecting temperatures to warm. The models only went mid-60s today. We hit the lower 70s. I think we hit the lower 70s again. The clouds really don't thicken up until tomorrow afternoon into the evening. And so here comes the storm chances. Now, this model didn't show much a couple days ago. Now it does. And you can see some storm activity. This is enough where I think you have to have a risk of severe storms. Not saying it's a major risk. I'm not saying there's the greatest tornado potential because the wind shear doesn't really line up, but I am saying there's probably going to be some storms late tomorrow night into early Thursday morning. Now, what you might not know is that it's going to get very cold. You can see this upper level system kind of tracking over our area. Did you see that spin happening? Temperatures are going to be pretty chilly, maybe in the low 30s, probably not cold enough to provide winter weather potential in terms of accumulation on roads, but I think you will see some snowfall Thursday morning. That's literally how quick this is going to dramatically change. Of course, the road temperatures are going to be too warm to cause issues. Only unless this really causes some mesoscale banding will you see any type of accumulation on elevated surfaces, grassy areas. And for roads, it really has to come down heavy for a long period of time with temperatures remaining above freezing. So then you'll notice the system shifting off to the east Thursday. Wind chills are going to be brutal. It's going to be very cold. When we look at the different computer models, check this out. The graph is showing about an inch of rain. Now, that is one of the more bullish models, but that definitely doesn't look like no thunderstorm potential. The European has more of the storms in the river valley, and I think storm chances will be a little more likely in the river valley. That's just where most of the moisture and the instability kind of surged back to the north. Now, the GFS didn't show anything. And that might be another reason why the Storm Prediction Center took the risk and moved it and shifted it so far east. It was out of basically the entire state of Arkansas. The NAM also has some storms popping up. So I think some storms are going to be very possible, and I think we will see some stuff. Also, too, it's going to be very cold. We're going to have those wind chills dropping down into the 20s on Thursday. So northerly winds, very blustery. Old man winter is coming. You can see those strong northerly winds cranking up. Then you see Thursday afternoon. Highs might not get, daytime highs, that is, might not get out of the 30s. In fact, they may not get much above freezing. So it's going to be a cold day on Thursday after another potential record warm day that we saw today happens tomorrow. So be aware of that. Here's a look at the 2-day forecast timeline. If you're wondering about the timing, we're only 6 minutes in and I'm already covering this. So we have lower 70s for tomorrow afternoon. Then we'll slowly and steadily drop a little bit. Then you can see those rain chances starting to pick up. About 40% late night Wednesday into early Thursday morning. River Valley will have a little bit more of that potential. And then just to let you know, we're still expecting warmer and stormier than normal, especially towards the end of next week. We also have on Martin Luther King Jr. Day another system coming in. Probably looks like maybe just some general thunderstorms at this point. But one of the things you'll notice is that it's going to be an active weather pattern. How can we tell this? Well, you see the colder weather to the west, warmer weather to the east. So guess what that jet stream's doing? This. And then that means storm chances will be rolling into our area. So that's the 8 to 14 day outlook. And when we look at the 8 to 14 day outlook for precipitation, we're talking about above normal precipitation. I notice there's not a lot of comments on there. Hopefully I'm seeing your comments. Jacob, I'm seeing yours. And maybe you're just sitting back and watching me just yap away. But here's a look at the jet stream long term. There's a system coming in for tomorrow. It's enough energy and it's a strong enough system where I think storms are going to be possible. Again, the coverage is questioning, but we had severe weather in California. There were tornado warnings, as a matter of fact, and there was also severe thunderstorm warnings. Now, they did have that risk. I think we've got to include it in there. I just don't see why it's not in there. It doesn't make any sense to me. Everyone just vibing, just chilling. So Friday afternoon, you can see the warm weather, big ridge of high pressure, very progressive weather pattern. Our next system coming in, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Not a lot of instability because we are so progressive, but then you can see this big dip in the jet stream happening on Friday, January 20th. So just to let you know, you think winter is over, think again. This is going to provide some cold air. It also has a system to work with. So potentially by the end of next weekend, we could be looking at winter weather again and another cold blast that's coming. But next week, most of the time, will be warmer. I think you're going to see a shift in that forecast. If we look at the GFS, let's look at the GFS jet stream here, and we'll check this out. What's it showing as it loads up the data? Hey, you're welcome, Steve. Have any luck hunting meteorites lately? I know that I haven't seen much activity on the Facebook messaging group for any fireball bolides or anything like that. But the Geminids are coming up here. Actually, they already happened. Geminids happened in December. It's amazing how fast everything goes by. But here's a look at that comet. It's going to be pretty cool. One tonight in Texas. Well, there you go. Fireball happening. Come on, load up your jet stream map. Let's see. Well, sometimes it doesn't want to. There it goes. Once you force it. So let's take a look. There's the rip in the jet stream. There's that system coming in. Why it's not producing thunderstorms is beyond me. Then you can see it moving east. Very progressive weather pattern, highly amplified and progressive, meaning it moves quickly and doesn't stick around, and just a wave train of systems. Have you seen what's happening on the west coast of the United States and California? Bad news. I mean, for ski bums, they're loving this in the Sierra Nevadas, but there's a lot of snow. They're getting 8 to 12 feet. It's going to be absolutely crazy. Then you're going to see, it's actually not the RAM, but that would be nice. But this is actually the program that's loading the data through the cloud. So the cloud needs an upgrade. Then you can see that system coming in, and you can hint that it's getting colder, and it will be getting colder by the end of next week. So we're talking Friday night into Saturday and Sunday. So I like this forecast for Mountain Home. Mountain Home looks pretty good, but I think some thunderstorms will be rolling in. So let's show you some other computer models really quick, real fast, and then I'll show you the dew points too as well. So you can see how that moisture kind of surges northward. And so here's the HRRR model, and this is the very latest one. And this didn't have any thunderstorm activity a couple of days ago, or should I say yesterday. Now, as it's getting closer to the event, you'll see right about now, it's got some thunderstorms. It focuses them in the river valley, and they do develop quick. And yes, they do move out fast. So it will be a very quick moving system. But regardless, I still think thunderstorms are going to be possible. And then you can see that colder air filtering in. And I think some flurries are not out of the question. Now, the HRRR is very cold for Thursday afternoon. In fact, it barely talks about getting below freezing. Jason Boggs, what's going on? I'm going to pop your comment up on here. My former storm chasing partner, good friend, already retired. I was kind of jealous talking to him about retirement. That'd be nice. But he's loving life in Texas, although was really sad about his one of his pets dying. So, but good talking to you as well, Jason. Would love for you to come visit us in Fayetteville and see the family. So there's a cloud sticking around. It does get rather cold, and then you can see that temperature remaining pretty chilly. So I do think some thunderstorms are rolling our way tomorrow, and I think there's not a lot of Cape, but there's enough. There's enough where I think we see some thunderstorms. So let me show you the dew points that are surging north. One of the reasons why we're not going to have a substantial severe weather risk is because the moisture noses in, but it kind of gets shoved to the east pretty quickly due to a veering profile. And it kind of scours out a little bit, as you'll see here Wednesday, late morning. But then I think it surges back north. You see those dew points getting it up into the lower 50s. So while the tornado potential probably won't be there, because it won't be surface-based storms. I think some elevated storms with some gusty winds, maybe some small hail will be possible. Now in Alabama, James Spann is going to be dealing with storms and severe weather on Thursday. As you can see, that moisture surging north, dew points getting back up into the 60s. So if I take the camera off the screen, you can see that as well popping up on there. So I do think some storms will be possible there in the river valley. And remember, I don't know if I showed this or not already. I think I did. But here's the rain accumulation, and you can see the different models showing different precipitation. So no, not a lot of Cape, couple hundred, nothing super major. So real quick forecast for tonight. We're looking at overnight lows that are going to be in the mid to upper 40s, lower 50s, very mild. Tomorrow, it says 68, but I went 71, and that should update, but it's not. So I'm going 71 for the high. And here's that 7-day forecast. So we've got all included. We got the downward arrow. I'm flipping the high and the low. I probably should go around 30 for the low, but honestly, it might even be upper 20s. But that might be a little scary to see on Thursday, thinking that the high temperature will be 29, but the high is actually going to be 54. So one of the things that we deal with as meteorologists that's very difficult is trying to show temperature trends for the entire day by just showing two temperatures. So here's my question for you. For those that are still on here 15 minutes in at 11:30 in the night, what's the best way to do this? Is it showing the afternoon temperature, or is it showing the high and the low for the day and then describing with the temperature trends what the temperature will be? Because when you have a morning high and an evening low, it's totally backwards from your typical weather pattern, which is basically a morning low shortly after sunrise. And then the high temperature is, a couple hours before sunset in the winter. So down arrow day, that means it's getting cold. You can see the front that's drawn on there, getting chilly. The high temperature is early on in the day. You got double downward arrow. We do that on purpose so you know that the temperature is dropping and you know that it's getting colder. Now, will 34 be in the afternoon? It's possible. The HRRR was showing that. Notice the winds, too, switching from south to northwest. It's going to be a blustery day on Thursday. Not quite windy enough for Windy Willie to show up on there. That icon where he's old man winter blowing away. But it is going to be cold. And so if we went with an afternoon high of 37 and a low of 34, then you would see 34, 37. It just doesn't make sense. You're thinking it's too complicated. Just describe it. I agree. we have to describe it. And that's what I do, and that's what I try to do. So thank you. Having the high as the low in this situation conveys the drop nicely, along with the downward arrows. Okay, cool. So you guys like that. That's awesome. And do we have any people that want to play devil's advocate? Because I'm willing, to have the discussion, because I really don't know a good way to do it. I know that, my former meteorologist that was in the morning, Rick, he would like the morning low or the morning temperature when people wake up, and the afternoon temperature that you can expect. Yes, but, that doesn't really tell the weather story, because sometimes it could be 37 in the morning and then climb up to 38, but then fall. And it only looks like we cooled down 2 degrees. So I get that reasoning, because people are concerned about the morning and the afternoon and the temperatures. But that's why we do this, and that's why we break this down, which, by the way, we alter. This is all of our altering, and it's on our app too. So check it out. You can see it when you go to the hourly forecast. If you're wondering where this comes from me entering in the data. And so I have it bumping up to 37. I think 32 is a little cold, but it could be that cold. We'll just have to see how that evolves. And then also for the timing of the rain, I think this really portrays an idea exactly when that timing will be. And you can see the flurries continuing in the morning hours. Yes, I don't break down exactly what's going to happen at that time, but I do on this, because you can see a little bit of flurry activity showing up. Thunderstorms 11, and then that's the flurries at 7 a.m. And so it's small, because you're trying to do a 2-day timeline to show all that on there, but that's what we've got, right? Let me point that out right here. So yeah, all right. People are liking that. The downward arrow day, getting colder. If it's really getting colder, I'll say dramatic temperature drop and all that stuff. And, here's another model showing those storms that are coming in tomorrow evening. And it also shows that snow too. I think we get a little bit of a dusting on elevated surfaces, and it doesn't really last long, because temperatures will be borderline freezing. And so, but there it is, showing a little bit of a blast. If we look at the water vapor, you can actually see this system coming in, and it's been a wave train of systems. There is no doubt. There's been a lot of systems that have been impacting the West Coast. So we're about to have a pattern flip at the end of next week, where we've got troughing in the central US, ridging on the West Coast. That means colder weather coming for us, and warmer on the West Coast, because right now it's cool, it's cooler as well as wetter. So it's always interesting. If you see warmer weather on the West Coast, the ridge of high pressure is building in. And so it'll essentially look like this, which will provide some really cold weather for our area, along with some systems coming in. So, all right, any questions at all before I shut it down for tonight? I know this is a last minute Facebook Live, but I just want to let you know that risk is coming out shortly, and I wouldn't be surprised if that risk gets shifted west. If it doesn't at midnight, I think by the time the 12Z model suite comes in, which is going to be updated at 1630Z, which is 10:30 in the morning for us, I think we're going to see that risk just shift west enough. It's too strong of a system. You can see the energy. Another thing you can see with the energy is that it rides up and over this little ridge. So you're looking at it and you're like, oh, the energy is moving northeast. Check it out. You can see it right here coming into California. And so let me bring this up for you. So it's coming into California right at this point. You can see it, but then watch it drop southeast right at the last minute. So it's starting to ride up and over a ridge, and then it curves back down to the southeast. That's exactly what this model is doing, and that's why those storms, I think, do move into our area. And so the models are going to hint at this now that the system's on shore, now that the upper air sounding network will be able to get it, the airplane soundings, aircraft soundings, all that. There's our next big weather system that's approaching the West Coast. That happens in a few days over the weekend. They get hit with another one. What is the current SPC outlook, Michael? So this is the current SPC outlook. This is for tomorrow. Stand by, sir. Here it is. That's it. Severe weather risk dramatically changed because before the risk was like this. It kind of included all that area. So, aha. Can I check goes near Temple? So I can. What? Okay, so let's check out the time here. There's the event. All right, so let's look here. Big old fireball event. And we'll have to see what if there's any GLM data that shows up, right? Because if it was a bright enough flash, it would show up. Now, it would be underneath the clouds if it gets really low. So that'll be interesting. 122 reports. Cool. All right. Stand by. Let me check it out real quick on the GLM data. This will take just a little bit to load. But let's first of all look at AMS meteors. Unfortunately, I can't click on the link. So Fireball, is it a pending report? Nope, doesn't look like it's pending report. Ooh, there was some sound too. So it was a bolide. Wow, a lot of people saw this. So they're still trying to get the trajectory. And approximately what time? 46 UTZ. So 7:46. All right, so let's load this up real fast. And if I see something, Steve, I'll let you know about it. And I'll bring it up on here. I'll share the satellite imagery. Let's see if it showed anything. Thankfully, there's no storms in that area. I'll go to 48. I got to go back even more. 96. There we go. And then we'll load up overlays. Hold on, I gotta make this full screen. GLM flashes. All right, let's see here what we got. Let me zoom in here. I'm not seeing anything. There are quite a few cirrus clouds, but let's see. If it really was, oh, there was some stuff. Where was that? Hold on. Nope. Boy, I'm just not seeing anything. Nothing to really see there. Let me look at a different product real fast. Minimum flash area. Stand by. I don't know if it really was 46 UTZ. Don't see it. No help there, Steve. Sorry. Looking at that, I didn't see it. 646. Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at that. I was looking at 0Z. Oh, hey. Wow, someone actually got it, Steve. Check this out. So on Josh Weisel, there's potentially one in Austin as well. Okay. Big old fireball. I'll have to look at some other data. It'll take a little bit longer to load up, but regardless, I don't see anything that's coming out from that. So, anywho, we'll have to check that out. I wonder if we can bring up that. Can't click on that link, Josh. So let me see if I can find it on your thing. Good. Hmm. For Rick Mitchell. He sent a photo of it. Oh, there you go. Fireball earlier this evening. Oh yeah. Far south is Austin. Okay, I got video of this. So I will share this with you. Steve, if you're still on here, let me show you real quick. Bring this up full. All right, go back to StreamYard. Stand by. Let's check this out here. Share screen. Okay. Here's the fireball. We're going to see it right over here. There it is. Good trajectory, it looks like. Looks like it burns up, though. You would know better. Pretty bright. Fireball bolide. Don't know which way that's driving, but there you see it off in the distance. What do you think? You think that makes it to the ground, Steve? We'll have to see. That's some good video that Rick Mitchell had on his Twitter feed. I was wondering what you were going after. Yeah, booms are good. It shows it's a bolide, but I was wondering where you were going with that, Steve. It was a late night Facebook Live here. Gotta love autocorrect. Okay, guys. Well, on that note, let's see if they've updated the severe weather risk. They have. So it has extended farther west. Yeah, exact time on the video too is good. Let's go back on that time. It is 6:46 and 21 seconds. 6:46:21. So it was 0046. Pretty impressive. I got it right on the money. Yep. Okay. New risk is out. Let me show you it. So it has shifted west, and thunderstorms are now back in the area. So those have been included, but I still think we're going to see more adjustments. So it has shifted west. It has been updated. Let's look at the tornado threat. Still has it over the Missouri Boot Heel. The hail threat's going to be west, and damaging wind potential is going to be west as well. So hail and wind, but still west, or still too far east to include. But at least we're in the thunderstorm threat now. That's good. And I think that's going to continue to shift west tomorrow as well, looking at the latest model data. So on that note, 30 minutes in, you have a great rest of your what's left of it Tuesday. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do another Facebook Live. I've got a special guest that's going to be joining me. It's a future OU meteorology student, loves the weather. She's been interested in it all of her life. And maybe we'll bust out a Facebook Live and introduce you to her. And you can see our next future meteorologist that's coming down the pipe. All right. Anyways, take care. Thank you, Steve. Thanks, everybody. And gosh, please don't say snow or ice. Laugh out loud. Late January, winter's coming. That's all I got to say. I'll end it that way. Thanks for watching. Take care, guys. God bless.